Okay, guys, this is the general, and this is not going to be a lesson. This will be a video showing a sample battle round between the Empire, commanded by Grand Admiral Thrawn, and the Rebels, commanded by Obi-Wan Kenobi, which never actually happened in the actual canon, but who cares? And it's going to be a sample round covering everything we've done so far, except maybe the Force, which you'll find out why that is in a moment. So let's go for this. So, as I said earlier, in a real round of the game, each player starts with rolling initiative. So, Rebel player will roll their 20-sided die here, and you can't really see it, so let's bring it closer. That was a 9, and the Imperial player rolled, and it's crooked, so let's re-roll that. Imperial player rolled a 3. Here's the killer. The Imperial player still wins initiative. Grand Admiral Thrawn, I don't know if you saw it or not, he has Master Tactician. So I automatically choose who goes first on initiative unless I roll a 1. And I have not rolled a 1, so that means Thrawn is going to go first. So each player starts off by activating 2 miniatures, so the Empire will activate 2 of theirs, the Rebels will do 2 of theirs, and so on until everybody's done. You'll notice Thrawn has a lot fewer people than the Rebels do. In that case, the Rebels will just activate whoever's left once Thrawn's done, provided Thrawn hasn't killed a whole bunch of theirs, which he is quite capable of doing. So let's get down to it. Thrawn will choose to go first, and so he has an interesting pairing here. Mercenary Commander is a commander who gives followers with Mercenary, such as this Chiss Mercenary, Furious Assault. Furious Assault is one of those abilities that replaces an entire turn. It lets the Chiss Mercenary, who gains the effect from the commander effect, or the mercenary commander, who has it already, to go up to double speed, which means up to 12 squares, and then attack everybody who's a legal target once. So, say that the Chiss Mercenary wanted to use this effect, so he is perfectly allowed to. So he will get to move 12 squares and then attack anybody who he's allowed to attack at least once. So he gets to move, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he can legally attack all 3 Bothans and that Rebel Trooper there because they do not have cover, so they're all legal targets. He can't attack people with cover, remember, because they're not the nearest enemy. But legal targets like those 4, he can go for. So he has an attack modifier of 6. Now he's within 6 squares of Thrawn, so Thrawn's commander effect will give him +3 attack, so 9 attack. So when he's attacking multiple people, you have to specify who you're attacking with each roll. So say he was rolling to attack this Bothan. We roll the die. He got a 20, which, if you recall, is a critical hit, so that is double damage. Now I want to make a note here. The double damage only applies to his normal damage rating. If he had a power that was boosting his damage, the boosted damage would not double. You take his original damage, double it, and then add any modifiers. As it is, 60 damage to a Bothan Commando is still far and away enough to kill it. So that Bothan Commando is defeated and taken off the battle grid. Now he will attack this Bothan. And he rolled a 4. And a 4 plus 6 plus 3 for Thrawn is 13 versus a Bothan's defense of 16. So no joy on that one. The Bothan is not hit. This Bothan will now go under attack. Okay, he's rolled a 7, so that's 7 plus 6 plus 3, that is exactly 16. The Bothan Commando has a defense of 16, so that is still a hit since he equaled the enemy's defense. So 30 damage to that Bothan. The Bothan is down to 10 hit points. And now, for this solitary Rebel Trooper right here, we do an attack. Another 7. So that's another 16 versus a Rebel Trooper's negligible defense of 13. So that's 30 damage to him. Definitely enough to kill him. He falls, and he dies. So there's 2 dead already. And now the Empire still gets 1 more activation. The Mercenary Commander here is also going to use Furious Assault. So it's going to be, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and then he can shoot both of these Bothans, since they're both legal targets. So this Bothan is the non-wounded one. He's going to attack it first. And he rolled a 1, so a 1's an automatic fumble. He missed. So, other Bothan, the wounded Bothan. He rolled a 17, which already beats the Bothan's defense, so no need to worry there. 20 damage, which beats the Bothan's hit points since he only had 10 left, and kills him. So just like that, in 2 activations, there's 3 Rebel miniatures defeated. So, now it is the Rebel turn, and so this Bothan Commando has abilities like Careful Shot. Careful Shot, remember, he can forego his move to get +4 attack. Deadeye, he can forego his move, get +10 damage. So he's going to forego his entire move, and he's going to get +4 attack and +10 damage, so 10 attack, 30 damage, and he's going to shoot point blank at this Chiss mercenary right here. So, let's roll the attack. He rolled an 11, so that's 21 total, versus the Chiss's defense of 15. So that definitely hits. That is 30 damage. He is also down to 10 hit points. So let's give him that die to keep track of damage. And so now, a Rebel Trooper could easily finish him off if he tried. So this Trooper is going to move closer, just to make sure this guy doesn't have any cover, and he's going to shoot point blank range. So there's only 5 attack versus a defense of 15, so he needs at least a 10. He rolled a 14. So that's enough damage to kill the Chiss mercenary. The Chiss is down. Now it's back to the Empire turn. Thrawn is going to use his own blaster. He actually does have one, funnily enough. We have to turn this camera a little. Okay, so Thrawn's turn. He has a blaster. This Rebel Commando does have cover. Sorry, Rebel Trooper has cover. However, he's the nearest enemy, so he's still a legal target. So Thrawn will attack him, and he has an attack of +12. Which is funny because I never ever saw him fight during any of the books he was in. But 12 attack versus a defense of 13 plus 4 for cover, so 17. He just needs at least a 5 to hit this guy. And he rolled a 19, so that's overkill. But he takes down this other Rebel Trooper right here. And what's done is done. Now it is this Noghri. I'm going to actually no, the Imperial Knight can go first. Imperial Knight will move 1, 2, 3, 4 toward this undamaged Bothan and swing with its lightsaber. The lightsaber blade on the miniature is broken off, but if you look at the picture, he does have one. He also has 9 attack, so that's enough to hopefully get some damage on this Bothan. Right, he rolled an 8, so 8 plus 9 is 17. 17 equals or exceeds, so exceeds in this case the Bothan's defense of 16. So 20 damage, as recorded on the stat card here, to that Bothan Commando there. So let's give it the die. Give it the die there, and now it's the Rebel turn. So General Krix Madine is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shoot around the wall at Grand Admiral Thrawn. He has an attack of only 6. He does not get cutting attack since Thrawn has activated. So, oh, and I should add here, Thrawn didn't move. You don't really have to move. Even if you're not using an ability that prevents you from moving, you really don't have to move. It is a choice to move. So Thrawn didn't move at all, but Madine can get a clear shot at the guy. So 6 attack versus Thrawn's defense of 18, I believe. Yes, 18. So Thrawn's got decent odds. The odds were not in his favor. 14 plus 6 is it 6? Yeah, plus 6 is 20. So that is 10 damage to Thrawn. Thrawn will actually get the D8 since he has 80 hit points, and it will bring him down to 70. We'll use this to keep track of damage done. And so the Bothan Commando has taken 20 damage. He has taken 20 damage there. There's a D4. And so Thrawn has taken his hit. Now Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to move 1, 2, 3 and swing his lightsaber at the Imperial Knight. And Obi-Wan's the only good attacker besides the Bothans under good circumstances here. He has 14 attack. So he will roll his attack. He rolled a 15. So 29. So that is definitely a hit. So you may wonder, if he wanted to, the Imperial Knight, well, if he could, the Imperial Knight could use lightsaber block to block the attack, he would take no damage. And in fact, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I counted that already. Okay, so Thrawn has the power Ysalamiri. Nobody within 6 squares of him can use the Force, but the Imperial Knight is 7 squares away from Thrawn. So Thrawn's Ysalamiri does not affect him, so the Imperial Knight can use Lightsaber block. So this triggers when he's hit by an attack, he can choose to spend a Force point, he has 2, to take no damage at all if he succeeds on a saving throw of 11. So he's going to do that. He's going to do a saving throw. So we will roll our die. And that was caught between a 3 and a 19. Significant, really, but I'll explain why that is later. Roll, he gets a 13. So he's safe. If he'd gotten that 19, then Obi-Wan, according to this ability, would have gotten minus 20 damage for the rest of the game. Skirmish is another term for game. But that didn't happen. So, but he still succeeded his save. He got a 13, so no damage. Finally, we have our Nograi here. He's way back here. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a problem. He's still too far away to really do anything. So he's going to have to do his move up to 12, no attack, and just move this extra square here to get him next to both General Crix Madine and Obi-Wan. He could attack either of them on his next turn. So finally, we have 2 Rebel troopers who have yet to activate. So this one can just stay where he is and shoot at the Nograi. So 5 attack plus a roll of, that is not a d20. Here's the d20 of 19, so that's definitely a hit, so it's a 24 total. And it's 10 damage versus the Nograi's hit points, so he goes down to 50 hit points. The other Rebel trooper, 1, 2, 3, no cover, since we're measuring from this corner. There's clear lines all around, so no cover. So another attack. 16, so it's 21 versus the Nograi's defense of 17. Brings him down to 20 damage, so 40 hit points left. So just like that, there's a combat round. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dead miniatures, and 3 others who are wounded. And so that just shows how cataclysmically this game can erupt. Before now, there'd be no contact at all. Now we've got 5 dead and a few more on the way. If this round proceeded, we roll initiative again. Thrawn would go first again because his initiative roll was an 18, so he did not roll a 1. He'd go first again. And now he'd have a chance to butcher some more Bothans and possibly even a Jedi. But that's all you need for your demonstration, and hopefully this gives you a better idea for the whole flavor of this game. I'll be giving you more lessons soon. Thank you for your time.